Hey everybody, and welcome back to Super Comic Fun Times from the Pile. And we're going to close out Justice League Week with this book here, issue number 66 of JLA by Kelly, Mahnke, and Nguyen. So this is very interesting. 66 is a highly spiritual number. If you've seen the movie, there'll be spoilers for the movie, minor ones. You have the mother boxes, and the mother box has 6 sides. So there are 3 mother boxes in the movie, and so they're telling you 666, and that when the 3 boxes come together, they're going to terraform the Earth. So 66 is also a very significant number. I'm not quite sure what it means. I've heard various things, that it's the abyss. I'm not sure. I can't confirm an exact meaning, and maybe there isn't one, but it is very interesting because one thing is in Star Wars, there's Order 66, which is given to eradicate the Jedi. Thank you, Freeman Fly, for bringing all of that to my attention. And then here you've got all these crows. The issue is called A Storm of Crows. And as many of you will know, especially if you've seen or read The Crow, I've never read the graphic novel, but I did see the movie, but not since it came out. So that's a long time ago. The Crow in shamanism is a messenger being. It's a being of transformation, and it is also the ferryman. It will lead a soul to the afterlife, or in the case of Eric Draven, it leads him back so he can complete his mission. So let's go ahead and open this up. Then I will go ahead and I will read it and let you know what I thought. Let's see. Got to protect it from the tape. So yeah, it's a very beautiful book. See, so here I think you've got the Green Lantern, you've got the Flash. Let's make sure you're seeing what I'm showing you. You've got Batman hidden here, Wonder Woman and Superman up front, and the art style is very squarish. Wonder Woman has a very square jaw, so it's very interesting art, very stylized. I'm not sure. I'm assuming. Mahnke is the illustrator, and I really don't know anything about him. And so, yeah, let's go ahead. I'll read it, and then I'll come back and tell you what I thought. And welcome back. Hopefully I took the time to create a hastily created title card like I have been doing for this show, and it also serves as a thumbnail. So this is an interesting issue. It's a bit confusing. We start here, and the Justice League are playing poker, and they're talking to Kyle Rayner, who is Ion. And I don't know very much about Kyle Rayner and Ion. I read the Sinestro Corps War, and I think they kept referring to him as Ion there. But to be very honest, I did not follow that story very well, and I think it's because there were tie-ins that might have made things make more sense. But for whatever reason, I read it. I didn't completely understand it. Okay, I don't want to get into that now, so I'm going to stop. But the artwork is very strange. You got Diana here wearing a tunic. You've got Wally West dealing out the cards. Superman is like making a weird joke. So yeah, they're kind of giving Kyle Rayner some jazz for being Ion, and it's like, so that's the end of the story then? You're Ion? You're freaking everyone out with the powers of a god, and in the end you dump them into the mother of nightlights? Thanks for trivializing my life with such sensitivity, Wally. It wasn't a nightlight, it was the Owen power battery at the center of the universe, a beacon of order, justice, and righteousness for all creation. And Superman says, hello, delusions of grandeur, which everything felt a little bit out of place here. And is Superman smoking? It's just weird. And then they talk about, Diana is like saying, can we make some s'mores after this or wrestle? And then Batman being completely inappropriate dibs on being the mat. I'm like, what is this? And then Kyle goes to the fridge and a bunch of water comes in. And I'm like, what's going on? And it turns out to be a dream. And but it's weird because, okay, so you know, you got the crow here, you've got, this did not begin with you. You are not a dynasty. You are stillborn children of a dead age. Insignificant. And then you start to get some of these symbols in here. Begone from Ataldira. And then like the symbols continue. And then, you know, you find out that Wally and Kyle, I mean, there's all these animals here. And there's like really no explanation for what's going on. So I thought we might be in an Inception-like thing. Like here you got Joe's Crab and Fish. So like, okay, all these animals just happen to come up by a seafood restaurant, right? And then Kyle sees something under the whale, but we don't see it here. And then suddenly we're like, I guess Atlantis has disappeared at this point. This is gross. I don't need to see that. So, like, I guess something happened to Aquaman. I don't know. But, you know, they talk about this trench is an enigma that appeared when Atlantis disappeared. And then suddenly they get called back. And yeah, this is the era of the Scorpion King. So this book came out in 2002. Let's see, July 2002, which I think meant that July was when the retailers would take it off the shelf. So then, like, Superman flies back and he finds Wally and Kyle. And I'm like, what happened? So then I just assumed it was a dream within a dream, but it's not. Or at least it doesn't appear to be. So, like, there's this dude who has these inscriptions on him that are pre-Aztec. They get back there. Martian Manhunter is like, oh, yeah, he was in the first scene, too, but he's off to the side. It's like, what's he doing here? I know he has an Oreo addiction, but it looks like he's reading something. I know, like, the Oreo addiction has been brought up in certain places. Anyway, so Wally's in the infirmary, I guess, at the Watchtower, which I guess is the satellite. They don't say specifically here. And then, like, suddenly, like, I guess Wally is in a coma, and, you know, he sees this crow, and it's like he goes, and I'm going to have to look this up, Chemical Brothers. I'm assuming there's some band. Just checking the recording. Good, still going. So if I was off duty and there was some Chemical Brothers playing right now, this would be such a rave. What does that even mean? I mean, yeah, again, I'm not familiar with this era. We're coming out of the 90s. I know raves were big in the 90s. I was never to one. And, of course, I mentioned the Crow at the beginning, and I think it's kind of a rave-like atmosphere going on there, the club where the bad guys are. Anyways, but I'm not, and it isn't. And where's my clothes? And then you got this crow. So, you know, you do have, like, you know, I was referring back to the 66, The Abyss. He seems to be in The Abyss. And then you come back here, and they found this mask. I guess that was what was under the whale. I went and looked at the whale, and there's like not a scratch on it. They say it's like weird because, you know, it's like 1,000 years before the Aztec language or something. And then Wonder Woman comes in and freaks out. Says, put that down. Ugh. And then you get a lot of this or nuh. And she's like, I'm sorry, Batman. That object is divinely charged. It's Zora. I didn't want you touching it. Oh, that explains the near severing of my atheistic hand. Okay, I guess like I didn't get that when I was reading, but he's saying like he doesn't believe in these gods and stuff, so, you know, his hand was atheistic. It didn't worship this thing, so it, you know, so she's kind of like freaking out for no reason, I guess. And then she kind of sniffs it, but she detects children's blood on it. And then we find out that this thing has kidnapped children. And let's see. It is the beginning. The world glows to embrace my foot as it finds the trail. And then, yeah, you got this animal sacrifice, you got this crow, and, I don't know what's going on. You've got this kind of weird glyph, a sigil of some kind. And then, meanwhile, in the Okefenokee swamps. So, like, at first I thought maybe Kyle wasn't in the Dreamtime because this image looks very similar, and you've got the crow here. But so you got all this stuff going on. It's like, in preparation for battle, dancing through shade and dream to fashion a war drum of their own skin. How many lifetimes lost against the same foul beast? How many dead? How many had those same thoughts before they died? No, I cannot doubt. Not now. The drum song must ring pure. The drum song must ring pure and strong. And there is a yesterday to save, a heart to return to, and a heart to light a fire and burn. So yeah, have no idea what's going on. And that's fine. I'm not frustrated with it. It's kind of a fun book. Plastic Man is this plane. It's like, this is kind of a fun book. It's got this kind of weird stuff going on. It's not totally serious. It's a little tongue-in-cheek. And I mean, if you got Plastic Man in there, it's going to be a little bit tongue-in-cheek. And so he's in the form of this little airplane type thing. And Superman's, I thought, is he flying at first? But no, Superman is just carrying him. Martian Manhunter is carrying Batman. And of course, Wonder Woman can fly. And so there were, she's giving some more exposition. There were gods long ago, dark gods who required human sacrifice from their worshippers in exchange for a boon. That armor reeked with the blood of children. Whoever we're searching for, he will seek to make a sacrifice to ensure success as quickly as possible. And then, like you see, they're kind of at this amusement park. I think it's supposed to be, they're in Florida. So I don't know if they specifically say this is Disney World, but it's Disney World because there you have the Epcot, which I didn't pick up on in the first place. And it's not really the Epcot, I don't think. I don't know if I've ever seen it. I was to Disney World just prior or after it opened, and I never went to the Epcot. So anyways, then you come here. The kid is being held here by the monster. Superman rescues him, but then we find out it's a trap. It's a trap. So yeah. And Batman, of course, knows it's a trap. And then let's see, what do we got here? I was just looking for, what's his name? Plastic Man has a really bad pun I was going to share with you all. But it's like, Martian Manhunter is able to read his mind, communicate telepathically. But that's a trap too. And then he goes all kind of stupid. Mazel, call, and dart time birds. And burn freeze, Martian style. And then... let's see. Wait, it wasn't coincidence that Jean was the first one to go while the rest of us were rescuing children. This has been choreographed. He'll have trapped the area. Superman goes, how do you know that? It's what I would have done. There! And I'm getting very sick of animals in this caper. So then, yeah, we got all these crows, which is, this is pretty much the cover. And look at the crows are going inside them. That's kind of gross, Then we have this here. And really, it's just like he's reciting some poem. I guess this is the important part. Tomorrow has come, dark ones, the day you'll die. So he's running from something. He's come to this time period to defeat something. And then here... on the letters page, they tell you, welcome readers, new and old, to JLA number 66. Though it's gone relatively unhyped, this issue is the prelude to something huge for the world's greatest superheroes. Changes are afoot as Joe, Doug, and Tom have started the wheels rolling in this very issue on an adventure that will redefine the League and its place in the DC Universe. If you have a friend who's been on the fence about whether to sample the JLA, tell that buddy to pick up the next few issues. A mixture of danger, history, inspiration, humor, and mayhem, as villains rise and heroes fall and royalty is reborn. And I thought this was a really good issue. I mean, it's confusing. It's not really good. It's kind of all over the place. But for me, I liked it. So I would definitely at least check out the next few issues. If you did read this, was it as promised? Did it shake up the JLA? Did it change its place in the DC universe? I think I'll have to track this one down. I'm assuming there'll be a trade someplace, but it's kind of old now. It's like 2002, so it might be out of print. But yeah, just let me know what you think of it. I guess this very first issue was not called... It was called The Destroyers, Part 1. So, A Storm of Crows. And you do have the Storm of Crows. I think that's very cool. So, and then like here, you got Plastic Man doing another inappropriate thing. It's like, okay, I'll play Scarecrow, but Wonder Woman's got to promise to restuff me. I mean, what is this? That seems a little weird to me. But other than that, I enjoyed the issue. I enjoyed the story. I don't know what's going. It's obviously a prologue, but it's a good enough prologue. There's enough happening, and I'm confused enough that I want to see what happens next. So again, we're going to bring this episode to a close. So remember to hit the subscribe, hit the bell, give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and we'll see you next time for What We Pull from the Pile. And keep reading comics.